Okay, what's good, y'all? We are back here with another video, and today I am using my mic. Hopefully everything sounds clear and things like that. Actually, I'm about to just do a mic check real quick. Perfect. So the mic is working. And yeah, man, I got a whole bunch of equipment, some lighting. Today I wasn't able to set up like fully all of the equipment. Um, I'm probably gonna be dropping another episode because I'm filming this video, and I'm also gonna probably film. I said Frolly. I'm probably going to film another video later on tonight, just kind of with the whole effect with my lights, my mic, etc. But I just wanted to update you guys on my situation. So right now I'm currently in Houston, and one of my homies, church homies, was able to give me a ticket from Dallas to Houston, and honestly, I'm just so grateful and thankful for it. Like, I was in a really messed up position. If some of you guys don't know, I was literally sleeping outside, and that wasn't the best thing mentally or physically. I was waking up with mosquito bites, barely really sleeping, um, scared to sleep, etc. And I was able to get on the bus and come out here, and you know, he provided me with a place to stay, and I'm basically just gonna be back getting on my feet and trying to get my things prepared for, what I'm saying, my future family and myself. So honestly, if you guys would just take the time to just, like, comment, and subscribe, that would mean the most to me. I am trying to grow my channel. I am trying to be consistent with this, and I think that God is going to do some crazy, wonderful things through what we got going on and what I'm trying to do. Um, Today, I kind of wanted to talk about like timing and like how crazy God's timing really is. Like, a lot of times we try to rush the process in certain things, and it's like God will give us a vision, right? Or give us an idea, and we get so excited that we want to just blitz the situation without really having any wisdom or knowledge on how we should go about the situation. Um, what's the plan? You know what I'm saying, etc. And I'm that person. I get very excited when I get these ideas or God shows me something. Like, I'm like, man, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go do it. And I think that we need to make sure that everything that we're doing is with purpose. You know what I'm saying? So if you get an idea, if you get a thought of something that you should do, I think the first step should be, what is the purpose of this? Why am I doing this? Plenty of businesses, plenty of entrepreneurs are always, that's like the first thing that they say, like, what is your why are you doing this? And I think that once you explore the why, you kind of are able to explore exactly how this thing needs to be done. So if you are wanting to make a business based off of, I don't know, young people in fashion, and you figure out the why, and maybe the why is, well, when I grew up, I didn't have all the clothes or all the advice that I needed. Okay, well, boom. So now we can execute this in a certain manner. Maybe you become a fashion analyst. You know what I'm saying? And with that, now you kind of know what direction you want to go in. And so I think that timing is important, and prepping is important, which also comes with comes with timing. And I think that we just have to learn to not be so impatient. Me myself, like, I'm very impatient. I can be very impatient with a number of different things, and sometimes, like I said before, I get so excited that it's like I just want to blitz and just do it. Like, God gave it to me, and I'm just going to do it. And sometimes that works. Sometimes that works, but I feel like if you want to make something and create something that's going to last, it takes time. You know what I'm saying? When God made us human beings, when He made this world, it took time. It took days. You know what I'm saying? You read in the Bible where it says, and on the seventh day, He created this. You know what I'm saying? Like, He literally took His time to create us, and thought it out. It was a thought out process. And I believe that we have to repeat that process when we are trying to create. As a creator, it's very important to also have a blueprint. something that I can say that I hate seeing is that like Christian rap, Christian content has become more of an aesthetic than it has like been more of a, what's the word I want to use? I don't even really know, but like I just feel like it's become more of an aesthetic, and you got people kind of cycling the same stuff. And I think that it's important to obviously have a blueprint. Maybe you're watching somebody that you like and you kind of get an idea from that, because typically that's where ideas start. They start from somewhere. But I think it's also important to, put your own swing to it, like put your own swag to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't try to be like everybody else. And I think that that's what makes your thing, or whatever it is that you're trying to do, that's what's going to make it more significant and make people want to draw closer to it. But I just feel like we definitely like we just gotta learn to be patient, man. Like overall, like that's what I'm learning is patience, and also like timing. Sometimes we tell people our dreams and we tell people our vision, and maybe they're not even ready to hear it. A lot of times people want to see your fruits before they actually see or hear about anything that you're doing. And if you go and tell somebody like, man, God is going to do this and this is what I'm trying to do, people tend to hold you accountable. And then maybe you mess up one day and then now, boom, all belief goes out the window. All that hope goes out the window. All of that expectation goes out the window. They expected for you to post. They expected that, oh, well, he said he wanted to do this, so I better see them videos every other week or every day, whenever he's saying he's going to post, which is kind of why I haven't really given you guys like a schedule of when I'm going to post. I just post whenever I can. Um, because I don't want to put out there something that I'm not going to be able to follow up, but also just still putting certain things out there and like telling people what I'm going to do. I don't want people to shoot my idea down and me be discouraged. A lot of times that happens and we speak before the timing. And I think that it would just be better, like having that wisdom to keep certain things to yourself. There's a lot of things that God shows me, a lot of things that God tells me, that I just can't always display out there. There's things that God has shown me about people that I can't always go to them and give that to them right away, right as soon as God gives it to me, because just because he gave it to me don't mean that that meant to go act in it in that moment. And that's why I think just being detailed in prayer is important, because God could give you something. And I think that once he gives you something, you should be able to go in prayer and be like, okay, God, you gave this to me, but when should I execute? Just because he gives it to you does not mean you should execute. So that is kind of the stage that I'm in. God has shown me a lot. I've been through a lot. You guys have kind of heard my testimony a little bit. And one of these days, we're going to go more into detail about my testimony. But I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. So God be showing me certain things. And I have an understanding that not everybody's on my level. Not everybody thinks the way that I think. Not everybody is able to show grace and even mercy the same way that I am, because we all have individual stories. We all have individual testimonies, and God is working on each and every one of us individually. So that's just fruit for thought. Like there's so much, man. There's things that God speaks to me about my girlfriend that is just like, okay, if I go tell her this now, like I might ruin it. I might ruin it because then she's expecting it, or then she's thinking about it. And you know what I'm saying? That could actually ruin what God is trying to do. I believe that God will show us things, you know what I'm saying, to also show his goodness. Because say God shows me something and I don't say anything and it just happens at that point, that's almost like him proving to me that he exists. Like now I know, like God told me that before that happened. And I literally watched it happen. So now I know God is speaking to me. Now I know God is showing me things, and what he shows me, I won't second guess. Sometimes it just be because of that. Like it just be God trying to show you how good he is, and you to develop that personal relationship with him. When you develop a personal relationship with maybe your girlfriend or your best friend or a friend in general, there are certain things that are personal, to you and that person. And your friendship gets tested in moments where your friend might tell you something, and his expectation or her expectation may be for you not to go and tell somebody else. And that's where your friendship is tested. So it's like, if you go tell somebody and go spill the beans, well, now they don't trust you. Now they're not going to give you that no more information, or they're going to be more wise and um, less. I guess I don't really know what word I'm looking for, but just basically not giving you that type of information anymore. They're going to be more careful with you. And so I think that that same thing applies with God, where it's like, our relationship should be so personal that certain things that God gives us and speaks to us about, he doesn't want us going and spilling the beans and telling everybody. He wants us to hold on to certain things because it's personal to our relationship, and what might be for me may not be for the next person. So these are just all things that I'm learning, y'all, like along the way. And it's honestly great because it's like, before I used to just blitz everything. Like, God would show me something and I would go tell it. And it may not have been that it was wrong, but the timing was wrong, or the way that person received it wrong, or I just probably wasn't saying it in the way I should because I wasn't growing, or I wasn't where I needed to be. And that's just where you have to have that wisdom. Like, sometimes we're not even where we need to be to deliver the message. And God could be trying to build us up, show us, what I'm saying, some things, season us up before we go and deliver this message. Because, man, I could still have some type of hatred in my heart, or I could still have some type of, like, I don't know, negative emotion, and I go speaking his word, something he told me, with my heart and my negative emotion, opposed to, what I'm saying, with the way he wants it to be said, the way he wants it to be brought across. And yeah, man, I just think that, again, I know I keep saying it, but I just think that it's important that we we are in the timing of God, and we are doing things when he tells us to do it, and understanding the difference between, when God says this is what it is, and then when he says go. When he says go, that means go. But just because he's telling you something and he speaks to you does not mean that that word is meant to be broadcasted and given to everyone else. So yeah, man, that's just fruit for thought, something that I thought about. And I figured I would get on record or on camera and kind of just talk about testing out the new mic and stuff like that. And yeah, man, honestly, this is so good. I know that God is getting ready to do a lot of different things with this channel, and I'm watching the channel grow. So all 31 of my people that are in and watching, excuse me, I appreciate you guys, man. And like I said, man, like, comment, subscribe for more just things like this. Like, I literally just gonna be getting on camera, pulling out the mic, just talking about things that God is dealing with me and showing me. And you guys are gonna learn too. And then again, if there's things that you guys individually want to talk about, definitely comment below. Definitely let me know, like, what subjects you guys want to hear more about, and we gonna talk about it, man. Because there's too many people out here with questions. There's too many people out here that, they think certain things, but they're too scared to ask, or they're too scared to, like, question their leadership, or their the people that are over them. And I want this to be a safe space for questions, for talks, for just everything. Like, this is a safe space. It's definitely a safe space for me to be able to get on here and just kind of talk about how I'm feeling and things like that. So yeah, man, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, man. And yeah, man, we up, man. I'm out of here.